Greetings, family believers. Welcome all of you to the session of leadership. We speak about the Kingdom Leadership Seminar. This is applicable to all of us. This is my last session for today. I hope we can have fellowship to one another while enjoying your long weekend. I just want us to speak upon the issue about leadership. Whether in the family of kingdom, it's about leadership. Whether in government, it's about leadership. Whether in business, it's about leadership. Whether being community leaders is about leadership. The center of it all is about leadership. So allow us just to pray together. And Father God Almighty, I give you the glory. I give you the honor. I give you the praise. You are worthy of the praise, Father God. As we come before you, my God, in this afternoon, my God Almighty, we acknowledge to say that we can do nothing without you. We start the session, my God, and allow you to be God, allow you to be King, allow you to be Jehovah Jireh. Father God Almighty, we elect in this age leaders after your own heart, my God. For many leaders, Father God, are leading people in their own selfish plan, my God, is contrary to your will, my God. For my God, we are many parts of one body. No one can make it in this world without, my God, another person, my God. Father God Almighty, we have leaders who have lost the perspective of the body, of the corporate, of the organization. But they are self-seeking, my God. They've been clothed with greed, my God, and selfishness, Father God. Their minds became deprived, Father God. And we pray, my God Almighty, through this session, my God Almighty, we gain understanding, common understanding, my God Almighty, about raising up kingdom leaders after your own heart, my God, who will lead your people with righteousness, Father God, while administer justice to all, my God, especially the poor and the needy, my God, especially those who can't speak for themselves, Father God. We pray for such of leaders, Father God, to arise, Father God, who's selfless, Father God. It's not about them, my God. We've died, my God, for the sake of being a solution unto others. Have your way. In Jesus' mighty we pray. Amen. Once again, I greet you all in the wonderful Jesus Christ's name. Amen. I welcome you once again in this session of Kingdom Seminar when we speak about the issue upon leadership. We find a situation, there's a leadership crisis, a leadership disorder, not just in South Africa, all over the continent, all over the world, irrespective of whether you're a third world country, irrespective of whether you're first world country. I mean, what we're lacking right now, we're lacking leaders, selfless leaders, some servant leaders who put the interests of people first, who have no interest of selfish gain at the cost of other people. And many times we find a situation that even the Christians, even the church, the way how we lead the same way how the world. We conform towards those standards. We also do the same thing. Even our way of leadership in the church, even as children of God, families in our own families, our leadership is nothing to be desired about because we do the same blunders and some mistakes that others do. Issues like, have we been we have occupied positions of leadership without being fully trained in how to be effective leaders, especially righteous leaders who stand for righteousness, who are to stand for justiceness. Where is the selfless leaders? I mean, the Bible says in Matthew 20, verse 25 and 18 says, Jesus Christ said, I have died, I give my life as a ransom for many to be saved. We need such type of leaders. There's no leadership without the dominion. There's no leadership without leading people. There's no leadership without people. No leader is effective where there is no people. Assigned unto you, our dominion. You find many times situation, many leaders rise, but you find many leaders rise without people, without followers, without people in the dominion. For kingdom stands for king. King means prophetically means leader. Whereas leader has to do with kingdom means dominion. We ought to be effective leaders within our dominions. How effective are we, especially the children of God? We lack effective leaders. Leaders who are successful in the man, in the purpose. That we're lacking because why? Many leaders are no longer after God's own heart. They're doing their own stuff. They're not doing things according to God's way, according to God's plan, according to God's purpose. They diverted from the plan of God. They have intentionally, knowingly moved away from God's plan for the people under our dominions. And that's an important thing we have to assess and discern as the people of this age today. We need to keep our people, even Christian leaders, even Christian families, accountable as leaders say. We need to keep them accountable and make sure that the leadership, we keep them continuously accountable, or responsible for the mandate. They cannot hide to say, I'm a child of God. I'm not supposed to be kept accountable. No, you are supposed to keep them accountable. Even myself, I am a parent. I'm a father. I'm a husband. My wife's supposed to keep me accountable for certain things. If we are partnering in the common vision for the corporate organization, as well as your children ought to keep you accountable when somehow we miss the mark. Leaders are not above, being corrected. Leaders supposed to face consequences and being kept accountable and kept responsible. What is saying? Basic leadership comes with responsibility. But the problem is, like when you have immature leaders, they try to divert to take responsibility that comes from the position of leadership. They only want to take responsibility when it suits them, when it's good times. But when it comes to trying times, they want to divert or outsource it to someone else. They are quick to blame. I've seen another type trend where it goes. When every time things are good, and when the organization is performing very good, the lead top gets all the glory, the credit. But when things do not go the right way, they always shift the blame to people under them than themselves. That is poor way of leadership. Today, my team today, which I want to zoom upon and speak about, is more upon leaders must guard. The importance of leaders to guard the values, the organizational values. How many of the leaders are we intentional in guarding the organizational values? And I just want you to understand, why is this so important to guard the organizational values of the organization where you're entrusted upon? Understand one thing. If you have a household, you are a leader in your household. Your family. If you have in the business, you are a leader in your business. If you are in government occupying a position of leadership, whether political or administrative, you are a leader. It comes with responsibility and accountability. Whether you're in a school, whether you're in a sport club, whether you are part of community leader, it comes with responsibility and accountability. So it means what? The question I want to ask you, have you learned the art, the understanding how to guard the values of the institution or organization? And I just want to tell you the importance. Why is it so important to guard those values? The session of today is more to able to give you explanation with regards towards that. This is a session that I'm normally doing with those under my business, Barnabas 7 Leadership Institute. It's about leadership seminar. To equip many organizations spend a lot of money to send people on training and able to effectively equip them and train them in leadership, in the skills of leadership, in the abilities of leadership. Many times, the church or the people of God take us for granted, but the world understand the importance to raise up effective leaders who can lead people in the common vision, and they spend a lot of time and energy to equip people in accordance with, because the macro environment is changing continuously, as well as the macro environment. So it means that those who understand the business context between the SWOT analysis, you derive SWOT analysis based upon the macro environment, the external environment, which they do with politics or economics. If you look at now, all of the world, politics have changed, the dynamics of politics. The same with economics. COVID have brought a recession to many countries, as well as the pestle analysis has to do with the social issues, especially in the third world countries, have went so much worse. With even the increase of gender bias, all the stuff is increased. It all has to do with leadership. Any leader, you must have understanding about your external environment. Even like these days, many people are dependent upon technology. Even COVID, what COVID have prevented many churches to gather together. But because you understand the macro environment of technology, you are able to still do business or ministry by using technology. Right now, I'm ministering you. I'm still doing my seminars, equipping many leaders through social media, or through live streaming. That is all about technology. It's more upon whether you use it to your strength, as an opportunity or a threat. Because why? Your external environment can only give you an opportunity or a threat, because it's available for everyone. Now, your micro environment is your internal environment, which you have control over. Understand one thing, that your external environment, you don't have control over. That's why it can only bring you, for you as a leader, it can only bring an opportunity or a threat. That's why now your external environment you have control over is within your control, and that can only bring unto you your strength or your weaknesses. How do you know your environment? Now, very importantly, if you're kingdom leader, you need to know even more than that. You need to know also the spiritual environment as well. How it operates all of this. Or are you a reactive type of leader? Or are you a proactive leader who know? The Bible says people are destroyed, are perished because of lack of knowledge. How knowledgeable leader are you about the times and age we're living right now? Many organizations have going down because of poor leadership. Leaders who lack strategic direction for the organizations. Even some families, there's many frustration there because why? It's the issue lies with leadership. We lack in this generation good leaders with vision. So vision is surpassing any temporary stormy situation. It's over. Vision is generational. Vision means what? It doesn't stop with the one who initiated it. It will surpass that person because it's sustainable. Do you have such a vision from God, or is your vision just about it starts and stop with you? That ain't a vision from God. I explained this last time, importance. Why I'm saying that it's important for kingdom leader. I'm saying to you right now, whether you are a mom or father, you are a leader. Whether you are in government, you are a politician, counselor, or you're a manager or director, or whether you are a minister, you are a leader in God's sight. Even whether you are a community leader, you are a leader. Whether you are a leader in the sport club, arts club, you are a leader. Whether you have your own business, you are an entrepreneur, you are a leader. Whether you have an NGO, you're part of the board, you are a leader. Whether you're in a school, you're a principal teacher, you are a leader. Where you find in all spheres of society, the issues like what's lacking is leadership. Even in the season we find ourselves of lockdown, just look all the schools who was able to still flow in doing stuff the right way. It has to do with leadership. Where there's leadership, they're able, even in the midst of COVID, still to function effectively. There are families who still function effectively in the midst of COVID. There are churches who still function effectively in the midst of COVID. There are municipalities or government institutions in provinces who still function effectively even in the midst of COVID. This thing lies about leadership, because why? They had a plan even beyond COVID. They even make provisions even for times such as this to able to still to say they will be sustainable. But the problem lies, just look, any organization, family, church, business, government, municipality that's ineffective, the issue lies with leadership. Many leaders get paid a lot of money to manage conflict. For leadership, one of your core qualities is supposed to have vision. You're also supposed how to manage conflict. And many leaders, you ain't a leader if you are unable to manage the conflict of COVID and still to make sure that your organizational can still be sustainable in the midst of COVID, in the midst of this dark situation. Because why? Good leaders, they have light. They bring light in the midst of dark situation. Good leaders bring hope in the midst of hopeless situation. What type of leader are you? Or are you comfortable of just bragging to say, I'm a leader, but the way how you lead is ineffective? Let your position speak less, but let your actions of good leadership goes before you. Let people know your position less. Let you be well known for your works. And that's what I'm saying today. I want to speak about the issue upon the importance of kingdom leaders to guard the organizational values. Kingdom leaders need to get understanding about the core values must be protected and stored within their hearts. Do you live every day as a leader to protect the core values of the organization? Do you live every day as a leader to store the organizational vision within the center where it's supposed to be? Understand one thing, banks makes every effort, even some businesses, when they understand the value of money, they will put it, they will store it in the place when even burglars or thieves it will take them tough to able to break into. The same way, they understand the value of that resources. It cannot just be money. It can also be, like gold, etc. Anything. Even some people have, like KFC, they have a recipe. That recipe is not made known for everyone. I'm trying to say to you, people understand the value of something, they will protect it. Now, many leaders are reckless because why? They don't protect the values, because they understand why it's so important to protect and guard the values of the organization. And today, session, I just want to decode unto you, to equip you, educate you, why it's so important to protect your values. Let me make this example. I don't care how gifted you are as a leader, how highly qualified you are as a leader. Tell me, in any business or ministry or government department when you work, why is it when you steal, and that organization's values is saying when you steal, it says you shall not steal, you will be fired. It means what? Your ability, your gift will take you to the room. But what will keep you is protecting and living according to the values. Not important principle I've made you. Many people have been educated, highly educated, but they're not getting jobs because they only stop at the interview. If the values of the organization says it's about teamwork, and this person, even how highly educated the person is, and the person say, no, I like to work on my own, I can't work with people. It means what? Because why? Their values is in contradiction with the organizational values. They will not get the job because why? People are appointed for. If you want to get the real type of candidate, you appoint a leader because why? Of the values what they hold. Whether those values are in line with the corporate values and not much because of the given talent. Because the gift of the talent is only 10%. But what you need is the values. I'm not sure it makes sense to you. Now, great organizations understand the principle. Striving organizations, businesses, ministries, governments understand the principle about values. They protect the values above everything else. Understand one thing: any organization, business, government, even the code of conduct, the code of ethics, even the decision processes is based upon the values of the organization. You go in government, values and principles goes together. You go in government, it says before you can understand the values, many, whether it's national government, whether it's provincial government or local government, any effective value of any of those institutions, spheres of government must be linked to the what? To the Batupela principle. It's about the principle. The same way, any business will align the stuff towards them, the principle. The same way, if you're a child of God, you run your own household, you run in your ministry, is your values, your core values aligned towards God's kingdom principles? God's kingdom principle is about the principle of love, the principle of worship, the principle of righteousness, the principle of goodness, the principle of peace, the principle of joy, the principle of humility, the principle of unity, the principle of kindness, the principle of perseverance, and their like. It means what? It's your core values as a leader in your household, family, ministry, church, wherever you go, business is the line towards the kingdom governance principles. I'm just trying to give you, it's about leadership. These things I'm trying to teach you is about strategic leadership. It's a session which I'm doing to people within my company. But God said, I must reach out unto you because God has paid the account for you already. It's not about you. Many people pay a lot of money for it in developing strategic plans. 5-year, 10-year strategic plan. It's about leadership. But the problem is, like many kingdom leaders lack leadership. They claim to be leaders, but the way, if you have to look the way how to do stuff, it's a clear sign to say these people lack leadership. If you can't be faithful with the 1,000 rand, how do you expect, funders to give to build you, a building that costs 1 million, 2 million, or 3 million? If you already lack leadership, how to govern your finances, it's only, 1,000 rand. If you can't give account to say upon each and every money how it goes, this thing has to do with values. It has to do with values and principles. What is the values? What is the value order of your institution, of your entrusted institution within your dominion? I think that's the thing I'm trying to get out to you today. Do you protect those values? Also, do you guard them in your heart? And how is those values aligned towards God's kingdom principles? Very importantly, one critical element about leadership is about influence, is the love for people. See, love in God's kingdom, God's kingdom, it's a principle. It means what many leaders you find, they call themselves Christian leaders, but they lack love. They abuse the poor people. They walk over people who have nothing. Because why? They're not been mastered with the inner situation of God's love. It means what? When you have God's love, it's easy to respect all people. But the Bible says, show respect unto all people. Love people the way you love yourself. Leadership is you can never able to lead people unless you love people. That's why, the olden day apartheid, one of the presidents say, people who's non-white, they're equivalent to animals, because why? There was no love for them. That's why even the way he ruled by dividing people. His accountability was only to one type of ethnicity of people, because the other one he saw them as nothing. But the problem is, I'm saying, he was faithful to those people. But the issue I'm just trying to say to you, the importance of loving people. Let me tell you one thing. Many of you as leaders, you're chasing after the position at the cost of walking over other people, at the cost of making sure other people, they get fired. Don't you understand? The same person you fire has a family, has people to feed. At the cost, you're much concerned about money, your greed to make more money, and what about people? The problem we see today, we find today, is such type of leadership. I want someone say to you, if you truly call yourself a leader after God's own heart, God say you are not representing me, you're representing yourself, because God say everything about me is for love for people. For John 3 verse 16 say, for God so loved the world that he gave his one and only son, so for those believing in him shall not perish. Love is the center of everything. We live in a time of wickedness because of the absence of love. Leaders have grown cold to loving one another. They are quick to retrench people because why? They lack love. Because the first thing with them is much concern about profits, much concern about their own bonuses. You find many leaders, they won't mind to make sure that their bonuses is about 100%, 50% more, while only giving 1% to their subordinates. You find, especially in the private sector, you find many of the top leaders, they will go to nice fancy holidays while paying their workers peanuts. There is a known thing in many in the private sector, including farmers, to do that. The way of people lead is driven by greed. Is your leadership driven like that? Because why? In their heart, they have stored greed. In their heart, they store selfishness. In the heart, it's just about them. If you want to be a true leader, like the ones of Nelson Mandela, who have been selfless, it's about values. It was impossible for Mandela, what he went through 27 years, to say, I forgive. Because why? You can only forgive when you love people. And this time I say, we have many of those leaders, even the Martin Luther Kings, all of them. Because why? They look beyond the race boundaries. They saw people. Irrespective of whether you're black or white, they saw people. What type of leader are you? Do you love people? Is the value of loving people more important than the value of pursuing self-interest, personal gain at the cost of walking over people? This is very important to understand. What I'm trying to say to you, like, it's very important for you. When people, I want to understand this thing. When people are convinced of the love of leaders for them, they will always have, their interest upon their hearts and trust them. Funny enough, even many people call themselves leaders, but the subordinates, the people in unintentional meaning, don't trust them. Whatever they say anymore there's no trust anymore, because it has to do with your way of leadership. It's a corporate principle that says the greatest asset of any organization is people. Kingdom leader, who is your greatest asset? Because your business or your organization or your department you're heading can never be effective and move forward without people. You can't do anything on your own self. You need people. We have many parts. The heart on itself is not the body. The mind on itself is not the body. Because the heart cannot play the function of the hand. The mind cannot play the function of the liver. They all need one another. Right? This important thing I want you to understand, the important principle value of teamwork. I mean, value your subordinates, value your team. If you are the CEO, if you are the senior pastor, if you are the husband or wife, value the family relatives, value your subordinates, value your team. Even in sport, no striker, even how good they are, they need the goalkeeper, they need the midfielder, they need the defender. We need one another. Unity is of crucial importance. So I want you to keep in mind, a leader is a person who influences a group of people under entrusted care towards the achievement of the common vision. Your people must be able to have a common vision that you have. Do not have your own vision contrary to the corporate vision that brings all of us together. But without the help of others, it's impossible for you to able to achieve, to perform effectively in accordance to your performance plan, in accordance to what you set out to do. You will never able to achieve your vision without understanding. Say, you need your subordinates under your dominion. Leaders, not be foolish. Do not, understanding principle. The important person to understand. You need your people under your dominions. You will never be effective, successful as a leader. You can achieve only to a limited extent on your own self, but you can achieve so much with teams. Because understand, you're human. We get weary and tired along the way, but you need people like Moses. When Moses is a leader, and when he went on the mountain, when he got tired, there was an iron in a her to lift him up. With whom you surround yourself is very important. But do you value those people? Or is always just about you? Everything must shine about you. The organization is far greater than you. Let the interest of the organization, of the family, of the business be surpassed more your own selfish interest. Kingdom leaders, we partner with those who share our core values. I want to emphasize this. If you lack good leadership, you will partner with any type of person, and that will destroy the sustainability of your organization. Because understand one thing. If my value is about doing business in an ethical manner, and I start to partner with some business partner who does business in an unethical manner, the Bible says bad company corrupts a good character. Be on guard against those associates, those partners whom you want to partner with, who has conflicting values other than those you stand for as a child of God. Because why? What will happen? They will compromise the sustainability of your organization. For I've seen so much organization reputation being defamed, tainted, due to leaders partnering with others of conflict principle and values. Do not undermine. You need to be protective of the values and the principles of the organizations, because it can compromise your sustainability of the organization. There's many people who had good reputation as leaders, but when they got conflicted in a wrong company of bad company, people with bad characteristics, it defamed the whole reputation. It takes long to build a reputation organization, but the destroying of it can only be over one day, over one night. Be careful. Protect the common core values of the organization or the institution where God has assigned you as a leader. Protect it at all costs and store it. Understand the value of it. But you'll never able to protect and store it if you understand the value of core values. I just given you right now the importance of core values. Now, very important to understand here. Kingdom leaders, if we compromise our core values, we compromise the sustainability of the organization, which means the sustainability of the organization are hindered when core values are compromised. This is the thing I want you to understand. So it means what? Pay attention towards it. Why is this thing so important? Your purpose of your organization, if you understand as a leader, you understand, strategic plan. A strategic plan is a 5-year, 10-year, 15-year, 20-year plan. In that plan, it will give you the purpose why the organization exists. In the organization, it will also give you the vision. Even in that plan, it will also give you the mission statement, which I've done in the past weeks. It will also give you objectives. But all of those stuff are hidden. But the unveiling of the purpose and the vision and mission statement is unveiled through your principles and values. Because your purpose, your vision, and your mission is within you. But the Bible says, out of the overflow of the heart, your action speaks through your mouth. Out of overflow of your heart, your actions, your thought process speaks via your mouth and your mind. It means what? When people get slain to, what people first see before they know the purpose of your institution, organization, or ministry, or family, or business, they first get encountered by your values. It's easy. I will testify to you. I've went to many businesses. I went to many organizations. I went to many NGOs, churches, even families. I can just go within the entrance of the door and able to know before anyone say anything what they stands for, what is their mission, vision, but just the way how the place look like and how they do stuff, how they conduct themselves. I can already assess the order of their values, what they stand for. Because why? Your values express the real you. The values express what is hidden within yourself. That's why it's very important. Protect your core values and store the right good values within your heart. I understand, kingdom leaders, without godly principles and values becomes kingdom leaders without godly principles and values. They become unholy. They become ungodly, filled with the spirit of greed, the spirit of enviousness, the spirit of corruption, the spirit of selfishness, the spirit of jealousy, the spirit of gossiping, dividing, ruling by dividing people. Ruling by even them. Some of them will even go to witchcraft. And some of them find those strains where even those leaders or Christian leaders find themselves in sexual immorality, having many affairs. Because why? The values of God's kingdom, how it's supposed to be, is not within them. They are unable to protect those values. So that's why I find the importance. The enemy understands exactly. The enemy, what the enemy intends to do, the enemy works upon your heart because he understands what you overflow, your thinking process, your actions, your behavior. It has to do what is stored in your heart. No person can be good if evil is stored within their heart. No person can be righteous if wickedness is stored in their heart. So I'm just trying to say to you, if within your heart is stored pride, it means that such type of leader, everything they do is more about selfishness, is self-interest than other people. So the issue has to do what's in your heart. What is stored in your heart, my leader? I think that's very important to understand. What is stored in your heart? The things that comes out of our mouth comes from our heart and make us to be unclean. For out of the overflow of the heart, our actions, thoughts, behaviors speak through our mouth and mind. Are you protective of what's in your mind and your heart? Or are you negligent? It's the responsibility of a leader. Psalm 119 verse 11 says, I have hidden your word in my heart, that I might not sin against you. Sin means what? Not to miss the mark. How many kingdom leaders are missing the mark? Because why? They've not stored God's word in the heart. You see, the core values of God's kingdom is found in God's word. The core principle of God's kingdom is found in God's word. If you don't store God's word and its principles and its values in your heart, you will continue to miss the mark. Your way of leadership will not reveal God. It will not reflect Jesus Christ, but it will reveal your own self. Luke 6 from 45 says, for out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks. How is your action overflowing within your Tasa dominion? How do people see you as a father, as a mother? How do people see you as a manager in your workplace? How do people see you as an entrepreneur within your business? How do people perceive you in a sport club or in an arts club as a community leader? is very important as to do what is stored within your heart. Let us be slow to pursue positions of leadership if we lack prematurity of understanding core values. To say leadership is about selflessness, to serve people selflessly. It's not about pursuing self-gain and abusing people for our own interest. Proverbs chapter 4, 22 to 23 says, "My son, pay attention to what I say. Listen closely to my words. Do not let them out of your sight. Keep them within your heart, for they are life to those who find them and health." Have you found the core values of God's kingdom? And you find what is those principles that we ought to live by and restore within our hearts so we can overflow with that? Have you found that? What type of way are you leading within your Tasa dominion as a leader? I just want to conclude here. Proverbs 4:23 says, above everything else, guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of life. Your effectiveness. God say in Jeremiah 29 verse 11, "My plan for you as a leader is to make you effective, is to make you successful, is to give you hope, is to want to also make sure that you are successful in your Tasa dominion." But a promise like the way how you overflow your actions, the way how you conduct yourself, it doesn't reflect God's way. It doesn't reflect God's nature. Because why? God's nature and character has not been stored within your heart. Understand this thing. Fellow kingdom leaders, understand, you must be clothed. Your heart must be clothed with respect. But your heart can never can never be clothed with respect if you don't understand the principle of love. Your heart must be clothed with godliness. But your heart will never be clothed with godliness if you understand the principle of worship. Your heart must be clothed with integrity. But your heart will never be clothed with integrity if you understand the principle of truth and righteousness. Your heart must be clothed with excellence. But you're never able to be clothed with excellence if you don't understand the principle of goodness. Your heart must be clothed with servanthood. But you're never able to understand the value of servanthood if you don't understand the principle of what? Unity and about humility. Your heart will never able to be clothed with unity if you don't understand the kingdom principle of unity. It's all about this. And so I can go on and on and on. Is the values of unity, teamwork, excellence, servanthood, integrity, respect, godliness, is those values stored within your heart? If those values are stored in your heart, find no strengths. There's such type of people. They are serving the people as servant leaders. They are selfless. They lead people towards a common vision that's beyond their own selfish interests. They love people because they understand they love the people God does unto them, and they have an interest to build up people instead of using people or destroy them. Such type of leaders, they don't have a corrupt mind. They have a mind of Christ. And then Christ said, "I've came to this world to say the greatest leaders of them all is the one who's able to give his life as a ransom in order to save many in its dominion." How you lead has to do what type of values is stored in your heart. What type of principles is those values aligned to? I just want to say to you, if you are a Christian leader, kingdom leader, within the kingdom of family, within the church ministry, within the kingdom of business, within the kingdom of government, in the kingdom of media, in the kingdom of education, in the kingdom of arts, sports, entertainment, I want you to understand God has sent you within those dominion to lead according to God's way. But you will never able to reveal God's kingdom unless you don't fully understand the principles of God's kingdom, unless you don't store the values of God's kingdom within your heart. And that's my encouragement. And that's why every day what I'm doing, I'm not perfect, but I've stored those values within my heart. For I understand, out of overflow of my heart, my mouth and my action speaks. Even me reaching out to you, with all my resources, everything I'm having, is because of those values. Because I love you so much that you shall not be destroyed. But I want you to be, to gain and grow in your way of leadership. It's all about love. It's all about respecting you. It's all about to make sure I don't want to see you to be down. I'm here to lift you up because God loves you so much. Let us lead by serving other people. I said God's kingdom is all about for kingdom leaders to lead by serving, faithfully serving people as if you're serving Christ. Do not be hypocrite. If Christ was in front of you, you should have served, the right way. But the Bible says, do not be like those people only want to serve the people in the dominion when other people are in front of them. But when people are no longer there, they become the real self. Because why? The value stored in the heart is wickedness, evil. You and I ought to be from God's kingdom. Let our light shine the way how we serve people faithfully as if we're serving Christ. Because why? He's our master. You cannot have two masters. The Bible says you will either be devoted to one or neglect the other one. To whom are you devoted to as a kingdom leader? I have made the right choice. Even Joshua said, as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord faithfully. What choice have you made as a leader, kingdom leader, saying, whom will you faithfully serve? Well, I have made a choice. My household is saying, we will serve the Lord. He will be our master, and we will reflect him within our dominions. May this message bless you and say to you, and when you understand the importance of values, you will start to protect the values and store it within your heart. And make you also understand, be very careful who's in your close circle, because why? Some of the unethical people who live with corrupt minds, they might pollute the good values you store in God's team. May this message bless you. Be blessed. Have a wonderful weekend further. And I hope that we will start to lead differently and protect our values. We are from God's kingdom, and we will be kept accountable by it, by our Master Jesus. Be blessed. Love you so much. Father God Almighty, thank you for this hour in time. Thank you for the session, my God. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for manifesting yourself through me. For my life is governed by you, Holy Spirit, is led by you. My works is governed by you, Holy Spirit. Even my life is governed by you. For God has sent you to be my wise counselor, to be my friend, to fellowship with me. Without you, Holy Spirit, I'm nothing. I want people to understand, my God, the family, I'm a fellow kingdom leader, understand that we are nothing. Because many times we are destroyed. The sustainability of the institutions, organizations, families is compromised due to us not able to protect the organizational values at all costs, at all times, to stand on God. I pray for such type of people to arise, kingdom leaders who will be on watch, be on guard against the organizational values of the ministry, of the families, of the businesses, organizations. Because when we compromise core values, we compromise the stability of the organization. May they know, for many perish, many are the ruined because they don't know. I pray, may they know. Our role as leaders is to equip your people. May they know now. They cannot say they haven't heard the message, because my role is on the plant water, but you cause to grow. Thank you, my God. Bless us in this week to go. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.